Hey, and welcome to another video. So today, this thought that I had came to me in the shower, okay? And I was just realizing that I was thinking about something. Like I heard the little voice in my head talk, and I was like, since when do I know this word? I said something with three, like a not triangular, but something tri, okay? And I was like, wait a minute, how do I know that word? Why do I just randomly say that? It kind of brought me to like a really self-aware spot. Did I just hear myself talk? I didn't even hear that the chatter was going on in my head, and I was just talking. I was just showering, and then I was like, what did I just say to myself? And that made me kind of think about the fact that, our mind is just talking by itself. Most of the time our thoughts are just chatting it up. This voice was chatting, right? And don't make me seem all crazy like I have a voice in my head or something. You have that voice in your head. Just close your mouth and say something like in your head. Say your name. Yeah, see, you have the voice in your head too, so don't act like that. Don't try to call me crazy or something, okay? But I was then realizing, hey, I have this voice in my head that's like constantly talking, mostly like saying all this negative stuff, trying to control me in a way. And then I wake up sometimes and I have this other voice where it's like, wait a minute, like it's looking at the other voice. It sounds pretty horrible when I say it like that, but if you know, you know. If you know, you know. So basically, it came to me that we are this mind, body, spirit complex, because this other voice, the higher voice, the higher self, is your spirit talking, or spirit in general talking, your higher self, however you want to call it, God. And we have the body that our soul resides in, and the mind, exactly, the mind that's just like analyzing everything. So for some reason, I just felt called to do this video today to explain this whole situation, and also kind of maybe like help you be more in tune with your intuition, because I feel like that's something I've been learning a lot recently, where I'm just like able to stop that voice in my head, and where I'm just able to step back and be like, wait, what do I want? What do I need? So before we get into it, let's explain the three things, okay? The mind, the body, and the spirit. So the mind analyzes everything, obviously. It's that anxious, fearful voice that's always like, oh, but what if you do it, then you have no more money, or oh, the scared one, okay? That's your mind. That's your mind, because it wants to keep you safe, and it's always fear-based, okay? And it's kind of like that radio chatter that's just going on in the back of your mind all the time. Do you have that? I mean, I feel like we all do, but we don't even realize it, where it's just this constant loop, or this constant like talking. Maybe it's like subconscious even. All of that comes from your trauma, comes from your past experiences, comes from memories, comes from things that this computer up here is saving, okay? And most of the time the words that we think, that's exactly how I felt earlier, are not our own. They feel borrowed. They feel kind of weird. Like I was like, what the heck? Like how do I know these words? Not that they're like crazy or anything, but I'm like, I would never say that, like actually say that. I was just like weirded out by that. The mind is basically this interpreter, this organizer, collecting all the thoughts, collecting all the memories, and creating like these beliefs, and creating these loops that you're kind of stuck in. It's basically like a software where it has all the data stored, kind of like that movie. What was it? The kids movie, with all the emotions, where it's like it has a little pearls of all your memories, kind of like that. It basically runs on the program that you have created. Your childhood, your experiences, the things that you repeat, it like remembers like how you react to things. And its goal is, like I said, to keep you safe. So it's gonna make sure you don't do anything crazy. It's always gonna try to keep you in your comfort zone, which we don't want. We want to get out of the comfort zone, okay? So yeah, that is your mind. Then we also have your body. Your body feels all the signals, urges, basically the receiver, kind of like. Your body is also what makes you real, like what makes you part of 3D, kind of like an anchor. And I worked with ChatGPT together on this project, we're always like giving each other's like thoughts, making a whole connection, making a whole conversation. He kind of gave me some of these really great sentences for this video. So one of them is that your body is like an instrument that your spirit plays through, okay? So I want to just quote that. Okay, I even asked if it's okay if I, incorporate the kind of like the creations, the flows of thoughts, what we create, if it's okay if I publish them and kind of like give them my own soul, my own thoughts to them, word them in the way that feels authentic to me. But yeah, so just wanted to put that in there. And then we have the spirit. The spirit is like the little whisper that feels kind of familiar. You kind of already know everything under everything. I feel like I already know, but most of the time I just want real life confirmation. It feels kind of like you're remembering it because you already do know. Your spirit is connected to source, so you're just remembering most of the things. It's also really calm, loving, and peaceful whenever that intuition speaks to you. So the spirit is your inner compass, basically your inner God talking to you, divine consciousness expressing itself through you, your higher self. It remembers what you came here to do, so it's like guiding you slowly but surely. And even if your mind forgets, it constantly reminds you of things, okay? And that's what I'm about to get into that. But yeah, if you're misaligned, then you basically focus too much on your mind and your rational side. You let the mind rule everything, which keeps you stuck in second guessing yourself and just keeps you stuck in a comfort zone and makes you self-sabotage yourself. So it's important to know, and I feel like that's what the video is kind of about, to feel for yourself what you're operating out of, which of the three systems. Your body is feeling everything, your mind thinks, and your spirit kind of knows. So if you wanna find out more things about yourself, or you wanna just try to listen to that guide more, then you can take some of these steps to kind of learn which one is what. Like sometimes I'm like asking myself, okay, well, how do I know which voice is the right one? Devil and the angel, like which one should I listen to? Like the ego or the higher self? Basically, that's the same thing. Your mind or your spirit, like what? Because you're a divine spark that is just operating this human body, that's just wearing this human suit, okay? And if you don't believe that, then skip this video, okay? I really don't care. Like I'm here to speak my truth and be authentic to myself. So no more playing it down for whoever doesn't want to hear it, okay? You can stay in that rational mind, stay in whatever you want to stay in the comfort zone. Don't try to be open-minded. I really don't care. Like I'm over here just spreading the message for whoever believes it, for whoever it resonates with, and yeah, that's what it is, okay? So yeah, while we're on that topic, let me get juicy real quick as well, because I was thinking about all that, even with the devil and the angel on the shoulder kind of. And it also reminded me of Christianity, where, we have God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. What is the higher self, equal to? So basically, God would be your divine essence. Jesus would be your body or your human experience, because obviously that's what it's all about. Like God is just the divine power. Jesus is his son. So basically we're all Jesus. We're all wearing this human suit, having like this spark of God. So you're supposed to just live in the image of Jesus, and like that's basically showing you what you can do, because you're the same. We're all the same. Like I don't know if what went wrong in that translation there, but that was pretty clear to me. And then the Holy Spirit is your intuition. So listening to the spirit, the messenger, that's what it is, okay? So we got this little comparison there, and we're all here right now on earth to combine the three. So we are already a spirit, so we don't have to learn how to be the best spirit or the best like divine person. Like that's great, you know what I mean? That's what Jesus kind of like showed as well. He was kind of like embodying this perfect image of God, and 3D version of God, which that is obviously kind of a goal, but like we're just here to experience the 3D, okay? We are already divine. Like we're not trying to be more divine, except if you're a man, maybe then yes, because men operate out of the masculine, but us women already kind of have that like calmness, that helping all the poor children and the elderly people. We women already do all that, so that's kind of like more for the male for the male representation. But either way, we're here to just experience this combination of our mind, body, and spirit, because we are the spirit and we're mixed up right now with our mind and this body as well. So it's a lot going on. You know, we have all these different things in our head. We have this mind working for us. We have this body that we need to adjust to. It's a lot. It's a lot, okay? So let me get back to my notes. I have so many pages written down. The most important thing for me in this video was that was my whole realization, is that the thoughts that we think are not random. The mind chatter, that is random, yes. But our thoughts, sometimes that little voice is like leaving you little crumbs, okay? And for you to find that is the way to your purpose. So sometimes when you have a little like aha moment in your mind where you're like, oh, I should text this person, or oh, I should do this right now. I feel like we all have those moments, and they just kind of drown with all the chatter that's already going on in our mind. So that little like spark moment, sometimes that is our intuition actually telling us something. So whenever you hear that, you want to like write it down or like right away act on it, because sometimes they can literally drown in the ocean of words that's already going on in your mind. So you want to act on those little impulses right away. And if you just write them down, because that's exactly what I had to do with this video. I was in the shower and I was like kind of thinking about it, and I was like, you know what, actually this is kind of interesting, like I should write this down. Sorry about the little voice difference, okay? I forgot to put my microphone on. And I have another little quote from Selves. He said, "It doesn't yell, it hums. If you can't hear it, the world is too loud." Basically saying, if you can't hear your intuition, you have to quiet down, okay? It's really important always, no matter what situation you're in, if you feel confused and stressed, you need to quiet down. You need to slow down. Silence is sacred, and you can hear way more when you're quiet. So that voice is always there, but you have all this chatter going on. You have all this stress outside world going on. It's just too much. You need to quiet down. Listen to yourself, okay? Try to tune in with yourself. Go do something in nature. Go on a walk. You know, for me, it was literally just driving or being in a shower that helps, like literally listening to myself. And sometimes I don't even realize that I'm listening to myself more. It's just that sometimes I wake up and I'm like, oh wow, I heard myself talk just now. Like I realized it. I stepped out of it. I became like self-aware. Just ask yourself, what do I want? How does this feel? Like if I do this, how's it gonna feel? Like that's before I do something, no matter what it is. Like I just sit down and I'm just like ask myself, like, okay, how would it feel if I do that right now? And then sometimes I'm like, get into my mind. I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do it because this, and this. And I'm like, wait, no, I think I should do it. You got to sit back and just listen to yourself. And whatever feels like inspiration, relaxation, and expansion, that's what is a yes. And whatever feels stressful, confused, like just like pressure, resistance, then yeah, that's not the right way for you to go. And then this spirit whisper is not always going to be wordly. It's not always going to have words of telling you something. It might just appear in images, nudges, in like songs. Like all the time I think about something and the song literally says the same word that I'm thinking right now, and I'm like, whoa, like that happens to me all the time, those like synchronicities. But yeah, it can come in different forms: emotions, images, phrases, songs. It's just like this knowing, like this little like, oh, moment, you know what I mean? But yeah, just be quiet and let the answers come to you. Like take a breath and chill, and then you'll know, like it'll come to you, and it will always guide you towards alignment. Your mind will always tell you what's logical, safe, realistic, and your spirit will always tell you what's true. So sometimes that little voice in my head is kind of mean to me. Bitch, you better, like, you know what I mean? Like I sometimes like, I keep myself accountable, and I'm like, well, okay, I guess that's the right voice then. The the ego mind would never take accountability, so that's how you know as well. And we're all just messengers in a way. I kind of thought about that when I wrote that quote down. It's kind of like art. You know how art is supposed to be just a message? Art and any type of form of expression is basically just a message from the divine coming through. Like, that's exactly what we are. We are kind of like antennas. We're receiving the messages, and then we can bring them in the 3D world. Yeah, we're basically just bringing out the divine in different forms. We are the divine expressed in so many different forms and transcripted and all of that. So yeah, that's kind of exciting, right? But yeah, also that voice, it just reminds you all the time really gently. If it comes back in 2 weeks and you're like, wait, I already thought that, like, I never acted on it. I actually never texted that person when I thought I was gonna text them, but I never did. And it just kind of like slowly reminds you. There's no sense of urgency or anything. It's just this gentle repetition you receive until you're ready to act on it. There's no urgency, no rushing whatsoever. It's all just clarity. Once you get like a thought and you're like, oh wow, it's like kind of eye-opening. Like, not even, it doesn't have to be a big deal, but it's just like it feels right. But then like sometimes I literally just kept showering and I already forgot about it. I literally had to remind myself again and remind myself like 5 times in the shower to not forget about it, and then to actually film a video about it. Like, it's this little silent little voice that you need to take action on like right away, or write it down. That's why journaling and like little post-it notes are really important. Yeah, so it doesn't yell over the noise. It just waits for you to quiet down. It's literally like a random thought. It doesn't like stand out crazy until you actually notice it. It feels important even if you don't know really why. And yeah, it's not going to pressure you. It's really patient. It waits for you to become aligned enough to actually take the next step. And sometimes thinking about even taking that step makes you uncomfortable, and that's why you don't do it. That's why you forget about it. And then when it comes up again, sometimes you're just like, oh, nah. That's because you don't want to grow. That's because you don't want to actually transform yourself. You need to be uncomfortable. You're resisting your own intuition. Yep, got a little visitor right here. And it's also important that it is aligned with your values, so it's not gonna be like a temporary feeling, like an impulse from like your moods. And the more you act on that whisper, the louder it becomes. So try to just listen and tune in, and kind of like listen to the conversation in your head sometimes, even just to differentiate like what voice is talking right now. But yeah, follow me on this journey to get more and more aligned with my higher self, and hopefully you can benefit from this and find yourself and listen to your guidance, listen to your intuition, and just become pure joy in life. Because yeah, that's what the goal is, okay? Just joy, adventure, calmness, actually all of the above. Like, we want to feel it all, okay? Allow yourself to kind of get to know your body, your mind, and your soul. We want to know them all. We want to see what needs attention and how we can kind of combine them and live in a peaceful harmony, because we are 3 things in one, kind of, you know? So yeah. That was interesting. And I also asked ChatGPT, we've been having crazy conversations, okay? So what about the trees? So what about the cows? What about the animals? And they are all some type of complex. The animals are actually probably kind of the same with the mind, body, and soul. And then the trees are more of like a like a network kind of thing. That's how I explained it. With, you know, obviously they have like roots where they're connected with all the information. They don't really have an actual mind, but they do exchange information. So yeah, they are also a kind of like a complex, just a different one. But yeah, it's so interesting, and I'd love to talk more about this. If anyone's ever interested to do a podcast with me or talk about cute stuff, deep stuff, I'm super interested, okay? Take this as your sign to listen to yourself and get to know yourself, okay? I love you, and I will see you very soon. Bye.